Hi! Now I am so excited today. This is a fabulous project we're about to do. Now my name is Lynn, but I'm better known as Nana Lynn by all the children on my classes. I'm a professional artist and a qualified teacher, and I've been teaching for many years. I'd like to make my content in my drawing classes as accessible as possible for all learners. And I would appreciate any feedback on how I can do that in the future. And if you would like auto-generated subtitles on this video, please go to the 3 dots in the corner and select captions. Okay. Anyway, let's get started on this fun drawing, shall we? See you in the studio. Bye-bye. This drawing will be a robot train. So I think we need to get going. So the first thing you're going to need is some nice white paper like this, and of course a pencil like this, and a rubber, so when you make a mistake, and we all do, we can rub it out and correct it. So the first thing I want to do today is start at the bottom of the paper, and I want to draw a kind of wobbly line. Okay, that's all we need to do to start off with. And we're going to draw the train on this wobbly line. So all of our straight lines are going to be slightly at an angle, aren't they? Otherwise our train is going to look a bit strange. So let's get started. I think the first thing to do would be to draw its wheels. So let's do a wheel here, nice big circle. Wheels are circles, aren't they? Doesn't have to be a perfect circle. And another circle here. There we go, 2 nice circles. And of course we'll have another circle in the middle, and another nice circle in the middle here. And maybe we'll have a line here and a line there to join those 2 wheels together. Now, what can we do next? We need to give the train a carriage, don't we? So let's first of all put a big long line above those wheels, just above those wheels, like that. How's that? That works quite nicely, doesn't it? Let's make that line a little bit longer. Okay, that works good. Now I want to do another big wheel here. Much bigger wheel. There we go. And we need to put another wheel inside of that one. And again, we want to join that with the other wheels, with this long piece of metal. I don't know what it's called, so I'm just going to call it a long piece of metal. It works well, doesn't it? So from there, we want to, I think I've made this line a bit too long, so I'm going to rub out that line there. If you've made yours too long as well, because I did, just rub it out. I'm going to first of all draw a line up, straight up from this wheel. But because the train's on a bit of an angle, on a slope, we have to make that line slightly on a slope as well, don't we? There we go. It's not straight up, it's slightly on a slope. Can you see that? We have to follow the line of the wheels because they're on a slope. Now, how about we do the top part of there with a line, and now we want the carriage. So I'm going to do again a nice big tall line for the carriage. Again, it's slightly at an angle, it's slightly off being straight up because the train's on an angle. It's going on a slope of the wibbly line, isn't it? It's on the slope of the wibbly line. So what do we do next? I think we would put a little line just behind this big wheel and another big line coming up to match this one. Again, slightly lopsided, not straight, slightly lopsided. And on the top we will put a line. So we've got a kind of a big box and a little oblong and circles, small ones and big ones. Not too difficult so far, is it? Shall we put another box inside of the carriage of the train? That could be the window, couldn't it? Now, we need to make that train a little bit more interesting, as it is a robot train in robot land. And Robby the Robot, in our first drawing, maybe would like to take a journey on this train. So maybe we need to make it a little bit more suitable for Robby the Robot. And I think he would like his train to look a little bit like a robot too. So what do robots have on their trains? Well, first of all, we need to give the train a big tall funnel for where the steam can come out, because this is an old-fashioned steam train, not the modern trains that we've got in our world today. Robby the Robot in Robot Land likes to have old-fashioned steam train. So let's put a nice funnel on the top of here. A line there, and we'll join up that. And now we've got a funnel. That's not too difficult to draw either, is it? So, how about giving it another little one here? Let's do a little semicircle here. That's an interesting shape, isn't it? Now what about on the front? Shall we do a big semicircle here? I think that would look like fun. And maybe a little extra one. There we go. Now we could imagine that the train is like the real robot, that it comes to life sometimes. We could imagine that. But it could be simply a train. That's up to you, how you want to imagine it. Now, I think we need to add a few extra things. So I'm going to add a corner here to make a triangle. I'm going to make a small corner here to make a small triangle. And I'm going to add little circles inside this triangle and put little lines in there so they look like bolts, just like on Robby the Robot. Let's do 2 more circles in here and lines. Now don't forget, just like in the first videos, you can pause the video anytime you want and catch up with what I'm doing and just watch, and then you don't have to worry about trying to do it at exactly the same speed as me. So basically, I will do a bit, you can do a bit, I will do a bit, you can do a bit, and that's how we can complete the drawing. So I am now going to add a few more things to this train. How about let's give him a big, long, narrow oblong on top of his train. And we could do lots of circles inside, which could be big, big, big bolts, big screws, so that they can hold the train together. They look good, don't they? Now what about around the window? Now, shall we put Robby the Robot inside the window as if he's driving the train? That would be fun, wouldn't it? And we can imagine him driving the train himself. So, shall we put his head inside here? Let's do that little oblong with the rounded curves that we did for Robby. Here's his little face, looking out straight at us. And we can give him his spring neck. But here we're going to have him on the side because he's turning his neck to see out to the window, but his body is actually facing the engine. So we're drawing him on the side, and his arm, his spring arm, is coming out of the window, and we can imagine that he's waving to you. So we're going to draw his hand. There's a big hand and his thumb just there. And he's waving. He's waving to you all. That's fun, isn't it? Robby the Robot is waving. Now we better give him his eyes. Semicircle, semicircle, half around, and little dots inside. And his little nose with the bolt, and the little nails for his mouth. And a line here, joined together, ziggy-zaggy line for his antennae, and a little round circle. Now Robby is inside the train. He's driving the train and he's waving to you as he goes along. Isn't that fun? Now what else are we going to put on our robot train? We certainly need something on the back just here. So a little sort of box there. And maybe a little hook. So a little hook. So maybe we need to keep that hook there for all the carriages. Okay, now what else can a robot train have? Well, I think we could do these lines on the wheels. That would be fun. And then when we colour it in, we can colour it all sorts of colours. Robot Land is a very unusual place. Wonder what you can imagine is lives in Robot Land. What their houses look like and what their trees look like. I wonder. Now we want to put something here on Robby's tummy. Do you remember he has a television screen? So we're going to draw another oblong with those nice round corners. Nice soft round corners. Not hard corners like this, soft round corners. And we're going to put all the knobs to turn on the radio waves on the telly just at the side so they look like bolts again. And we could have, there we go, the radio waves going through the train as well. Now I'm very happy with that train, but I think we need one more thing before we finish the drawing, don't we? We need to have a track. So I'm going to put these little tiny boxes, oblong boxes, all along that line. So they look like part of the train track. It's just joining up these little oblongs to that original line we drew. Okay, and I'm going to then put another line all the way on top, joining up all of those little boxes like that. Can you do that? And another little line following that line. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight and perfect. It's a bit wobbly. That doesn't matter. There we go. Now it looks as though the train is on a track. And on the next video, I think we will make the train, the robot train, and with Robby the Robot, look as though it's in a nice landscape. We'll make a nice land with it. So we could give him mountains maybe and trees. Or maybe we could have him go and pass lots of robot houses. What do you think? We'll have a little think about that before we draw that. Because the first thing we need to do is colour in this drawing.
Oh, listen children. I wonder what they're talking about. I don't really understand their language, but I think what they're talking about is that Robby is telling the robot train all about his journey and where he's going to go right now, and that is to go and see his very best friend, the cat robot called Cat. I think that's what he's talking about, but of course I could be wrong. Could you just be saying things like, come on train, chug along faster, chug along.
So here is the robot train with Robby the Robot inside the train, driving the train and waving to you. all coloured in now. I've used lots of different colour pencil crayons, and I've got red here with blue, purple and blue, turquoise, and don't forget we need to colour in Robby a pale turquoise like he actually is in the other video. We've got the hook for the carriages in orange, we've got the funnel for the smoke in purple, we've got these other little bits in green and orange, the television knobs in orange, and we've got multicoloured for the wheels, and of course the track. We've got this lovely purple line that joins the wheels together and this lovely purple track. All the train rails are black. Can you see that? And that's the train finished. Okay, I hope you enjoyed drawing this one, but don't forget to watch the next video, because I have decided that we're going to give Robby the Robot a townscape to live in, and the train is going past all these big robot buildings, and we're going to draw that in the next video, and then we're going to colour that in on this drawing. So we will complete the whole thing in the next video. I hope you enjoyed your class with me today, and you are looking forward to the next class, because I know I am. Now I'd like to ask you a big favour. Would you ask your adult to like my channel and share my channel so other children can enjoy it too? And would you ask them to subscribe? I would be very, very grateful for the support. Anyway, thank you again for joining my class, and I hope to see you soon. So bye bye for now. Bye bye from Nana Lynn. Bye bye.